Hi golfers, Nick here from Nick Taylor Golf. It's Friday, so welcome to another lesson on golf tips. This week on Golf Tips is part 2 of a 3-part series on learning the stack and tilt golf swing. Around 45 and my shoulders around 90. A lot of golfers are led to believe that in the backswing, you're meant to try and lock the right leg and turn the shoulders against a locked hip position. So that causes strain on the body. In part 1, I showed you guys how to video your golf swing, what things to look for to improve your golf, focusing on the 3 key things that control where the club hits the ground and the low point of the swing. The low point is probably one of the most important things in the golf swing. Every good player hits the ball first, then the ground. So in that video, we discussed all those key things that control where the club hits the ground. So if you've not seen it, I suggest you watch it. Really good content in there. In today's video is part 2. We're going to talk about the setup for the stack and tilt golf swing. Then we're going to talk about the body movement in the golf swing. I'm going to share with you guys 2 of my favorite drills for you to improve your golf. The first thing we're going to discuss in today's video is the setup position for the stack and tilt golf swing. So when we take our setup, a couple of key things that are very important. So we're going to talk about this from the ground up today. As we take a look at our stance, very important that the feet are turned outwards. So you can see I have foot flare here. This opens up my ankle and it helps me open up my knees as I set up to the golf ball. And this is really important because in the golf swing, to help us rotate, the feet being turned outwards and the knees, it's really going to help us turn those extra degrees and take stress off the joints. Kind of makes sense on paper that you set up with your feet straight because you're trying to aim the ball pretty straight. Well, in reality, no golfer hits the ball dead straight. Everyone has some sort of curve to the ball, but more importantly, the idea of turning your feet and the knees out is to help you take stress off the joints and to help you rotate more in the golf swing. The width of the stance is probably more of an individual thing, but generally you have a wider stance for the driver and a more narrow stance for the wedges. Today we're just talking about a mid-iron, so I'm going to go for sort of my average sort of width of stance, feet turned out, knees turned out. The next thing we need to do is set up to the golf ball. So I'm going to tilt forward and you can see here that my hips are starting to tilt forward, okay? I don't set up to the ball with my hips level. From this side view here, there's a tilt to my hips. So the belt's pointing more downwards. And also, as I set up, there's a tilt to my upper body. So I'm bending forward over towards the golf ball. Now this is very important in regards to the posture. A lot of golfers believe you have to have a straight back, whereas we want to be more slightly rounded at the top of the shoulders here for a couple of reasons. The first one, it helps us get our central vision on the golf ball. This is really important. I want to be seeing this golf ball at the center of my eyes, not out the bottom of my eyes. Also, by bending forward and relaxing the shoulders here, it's very easy to connect my arms underneath my armpits to help me keep the swing connected in the golf swing. So my shoulders are slightly rounded, my neck's tilted down towards the ground. So you can see I'm not standing like with a dead straight back posture here. I'm more slightly rounding at the top. My head's tilted slightly downwards. Once my body's in the correct setup, my arms pretty much just hang from my shoulders. So I'm not stretching them out, they're not tucked into my body, they're almost vertically straight down. When you take a look at the camera from the face-on view, you'll see how my handle position is just slightly forward, probably on the inside of my left thigh here as I set up. The next key point is, as I set up here, because my right arm is lower than my left, there is a slight tilt to my shoulders, but it's not exaggerated. I'm not tilting like this with my shoulders. So the idea, first of all, is to get the shoulders over the hips. This is the stack in the stack and tilt golf swing. The shoulders over the hips. And then in the backswing, we tilt to the left. So that's where the tilt comes from. So we stack the shoulders over the hips, then we tilt to the left in the backswing and to the right in the follow through. That's where the stack and tilt comes from. So just to recap there, feet and knees turned out as I set up, hip tilt, shoulder tilt, back more rounded, head down at the ball, shoulders more rounded as I set up, arms hanging straight down, handle slightly forward, shoulders stacked over my hips. That's the setup for the stack and tilt golf swing. The first thing we're going to talk about is the backswing. I'm going to show you guys where the tilt comes from in the golf swing. So if I put my club across my shoulders like this. So if I set up into a sort of a standard setup and I was to swing and not have any tilt on my golf swing, it would look like this. So that's me not tilting, that's my shoulders turning horizontal to the ground. In reality, golfers tilt. So as they swing back, their shoulders are turning on an angle. So my shoulders are turning in a circle at a right angle to the mount I'm bent over at address. So every golfer tilts to the left in the backswing. So to help you guys tilt, there's a number of things that are happening in the golf swing. From when I set up here, I'm going to keep this club across my shoulders, but the couple of things that we need to look for here, once we've set up with the feet and the knees turned out, if we take a look at the movements here in the backswing. So from a good setup position, a few things are happening as I swing back. So my knee flex is changing, my left knee's flexing forward, right leg straightening. That's helping me turn my hips on a tilted angle as well as my shoulders. My left shoulder's moving downwards. Also, if you look at the face on camera here, you'll see how my neck is started to tilt to the left. So in the backswing, I'm tilting to the left with my shoulders, my hips, and my head. So if we keep this going, as I swing back, you'll see how my eye line from the face on cameras and my head is tilted more to the left. You'll see from this camera, my shoulders are tilted to the left, and you'll also see my belt here is tilted to the left. Average tour play would be 36 degrees tilted to the left. The hips would be 12 degrees to the left in the backswing. So today's video, I'm going to show you a drill to help you get that feeling in the backswing to really open up and turn. The best golfers in the world, they don't just tilt, they also turn. So my hips will turn around 45 and my shoulders around 90. A lot of golfers are led to believe that in the backswing, you're meant to try and lock the right leg and turn the shoulders against a locked hip position, but that causes strain on the body. We want to really open up, and this is really going to help with the swinging the arms behind your body, which we'll get into in next week's video. But today we're really just discussing the body movements. So for this drill that we're going to learn sort of the backswing movement, we do this first of all without a club. So just lay your club down, get into your golf posture. Now what we need to try and do here, you'll see this from both angles, is try and open up the whole body. And as I do this, my left knee moves forward, my left shoulder moves down, my back leg straightening. I'm really opening up my whole body here. And you'll see how my arms are in a straight line here. So I'm keeping my left arm down towards the ball, opening up my right arm. So the difference between my arms here is like 180 degrees. This is really me opening up my whole body. So this is a really good feel for you golfers out there to try and get that backswing, tilt right, turn the right amount, and swing as far around as you can. Too many golfers are restricted in their body movement and they sway off the golf ball. So if you look at it from the face on view, you'll see how my head stays very centered. And then what we need to do then is grab a club and try and recreate that same feel in the backswing. So we talked about the movements there, everything is tilting. It's not just the shoulders, it's the hips, the left knee flex is changing and the head is tilting in the backswing. So once we've learned this backswing position, a question I get asked quite a lot is what starts the downswing? Now we've got two cameras here and I've talked about this a lot. So there's a number of movements that are happening. First of all, I'm moving to the left with my lower body, as you'll see from the face on camera, and then from the down the line camera, I'm also regaining my knee flex at the start of the downswing and pushing forward. That's helping me rotate. We've talked about the knee flex change, and the reason the knee flex changes is to help you turn your hips in a circle on a tilted angle. And it's the same as you come down. We want to then reflex the knees into the downswing, and then by the time we're coming into impact, we're starting to straighten it again as we swing through to the finish. So now we're going to give you guys some feels for you to work on with your body movement in the downswing and into the follow through. So we've talked about the backswing position. Now I'm going to give you guys a drill for the follow through position. It's very important that in the follow through here, you finish with your weight on the left and the body is extended, my legs are straightening as I go through. This knee flex are always changing throughout the course of the swing. So we've talked about the backswing drill, now into the follow through. So again, we're going to put the club across the shoulders. Now I want you to try and get the same feeling we had in the backswing with the arm stretched. Now we're going to go through and push forward, okay? If you look at it from both camera angles here, you'll see how my shoulders are tilted to the right, slight tilt on my hips as well. And from the face on camera, you'll see how my legs are straightening and my belt's forward. If you look at my belt here, pushes up and forward. So this is me getting that feeling of pushing forward into the follow through. Once we've practiced those drills, so we've got the backswing drill and the follow through drill, you want to try and combine them with the club to start with. So backswing, follow through. Backswing, follow through. Then you want to try and make some swings with the golf club. So we've got backswing, follow through. Backswing, follow through. Once you've done some practice, feel comfortable doing that, the club's hitting the ground in the correct spot, then we want to try and hit some shots. So we've got the thought for the backswing and the follow through. So if you can practice that, you've got a couple of drills there to try and work on the body movement, that's really going to help your progress in learning the stack and tilt golf swing. So there you have it, golfers. 2 drills there you can work on to improve your body movement in the stack and tilt golf swing. Make sure you check out next week's video. We're going to be talking about the hand path in the golf swing to help you golfers draw every golf ball. In the meantime, if you want to find out a little bit more about stack and tilt, make sure you check out this playlist, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more quality content every week. Golfers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week for another video on Golf Tips. The most